of our favorite students. He was one of the best students in his class, right? I think he asked more questions than anybody in the class. If not, one of the ones that asked one of the most questions in the class. All right, so what we're going to do is give you all an opportunity to ask him some questions. He's also going to take some time just to, give you the real deal about his journey and give you some good tips, studying tips for the Security Plus exam. Try to steer you on the right path. But y'all, opportunities like this, they come once every so often when you get to actually talk to somebody who's going through something that you want to go through. Right? It's not a lot of it's not plenty of times where you're going through something that's brand new to you. A lot of people around you may have not done it before, and you have the opportunity to actually sit down and talk to someone sincerely, right? They're being genuine. They're not putting up a show for you. They're not trying to sell you anything. They're being sincere and telling you about the journey that you're trying to go on, and they've actually succeeded at it. All right, so I want to give the floor to Will. Will's a pretty dope student, pretty good, cool guy. He recently got Security Plus certified. He actually took a boot. I forgot about that. He actually took a boot camp before O-line. All right, so maybe he'll talk to you about that. But he did take a boot camp before O-line. He could talk to you about that. I think that boot camp was longer. But O-line is not a boot camp, by the way. Let me just throw that out there. We are an academy. But hey, Will, one more time, I just want to say congratulations, man. You did it. You knocked out that exam. I know you probably had the biggest smile on your face after you were done. Man, and I was doing my dance when I saw that message, man. Every time you have to give me the good news, I stopped what I'm doing. I even pulled over on the side of the road. You can ask my wife, and I start doing my dance. All right, so congratulations again, man. I'm happy for you.
Thanks, Toby. So, what's going on, everybody? I don't know if anybody have any questions about the Security Plus or my journey. Well, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of story about me, how I got started. I mean,
Yeah, let's start. Let's start with well, let's do this. Let them know. Did you have any experience before coming to O-line? Like any experience in the field, any experience outside of the field?
No, I didn't have no experience in the field at all. The only experience I had was when I was going to the boot camp, and it wasn't really no experience. Like I was pretty much we were self teaching ourselves. So I feel like I didn't get enough knowledge that I needed to do to pass the test or, take the exam. So what I did was searched online and found online security and started. I went online and I found Toby. I called him. I think it was on a weekend. I think it was on a weekend because I was interested in trying to learn something new. So I was wanting to make sure when I go to this school, they would teach me what I need to do to pass the test or to become cybersecurity certified. So I called Toby. I guess it was a number on there, and I called the number and having I guess Toby answered the phone, and I think it was like on a Saturday around 6, maybe might have been Saturday or Friday night, even like around 6, evening around 6 or 7. And I was sitting on the phone asking Toby all these questions, and he sat there and answered every last question I had. Took his time and answered every question I had. Didn't know me from a can of spray paint. I was just he didn't know whether I was going to join the school and take the class. But he sat down and talked to me about almost an hour, or probably more, about an hour, and answered every question I had till I didn't have no more questions to ask. So after we finished talking, I paid for the class and said, I'm going to take the next class that's coming up. I took the class, and after I took the class, he, like I said, y'all probably know by now, Toby would take his time and answer any question y'all have and go over it, make sure y'all understand what's going on. He just don't want you to know what the answer is. He wants you to know why the answer is what it is and why the other answers ain't what it is. But I had a whole lot of questions. I was asking Toby all kind of questions. I was at the Cyber Thursdays like y'all is right now every Thursday. Then he had the classes that he was tutoring on Saturday. If y'all needed some extra help, I was there.
He
And like
was
I said,
at every last you were at every single study hall session too. Every single last one of them.
Right. Yeah. I was at every last one of them, asking questions. And Toby, every time he took a time to answer the question, even if I asked the same question again, but a different way, he'd be like, no, this, it no matter which way you ask the question, it's the same answer. You just got to know, because they might ask you a question a different way, but it's the same answer. But
Mm-hmm.
the journey, like after the class was over, I mean, we was done. Like I said, I was in the previous class before y'all. I just left the class before y'all just joined. Um, I took my exam. The first time I failed, it was like a couple weeks ago, but because I was nervous, I don't know why I was nervous. I went blank. I just got nervous. I looked at the questions. I knew the answer, but I couldn't remember for whatever reason. I don't know why. I just couldn't remember it. And then I waited a couple weeks again, and I took it again today, and I passed it. So my point is like study the flexi quiz. I don't know if y'all got that yet, but probably not yet because y'all probably still
Not
on the
yet.
field and at the
Not
first
yet.
year. So, but all you gotta do is take good notes, and if you ain't sure about your notes, that's ask Toby here, go over it again for you the next day. Y'all probably know that by now. And like I said, just don't give up. Just keep on doing it. Because what he's teaching you is what they doing right now in the field and what you need to know. He's teaching what you need to know to take the test and pass it, and what you need to know that's in the field. So those labs and what he's teaching y'all, that's all good. You need all of this. Listen to what he say. And like I said, if you got questions, do not be afraid to ask, because I was asked Toby like 100 questions and he would answer every last one of them. And like I
And
said, and take his time and give you details, showing you pictures of what this means. And that was good. That was real good that he did that and took the time to do that. Every time I ask
and
him the same question, no matter.
let me ask you this, because I got a good question, and somebody else probably has the same question. Before I forget, what do you think was the biggest difference between the first time you took the exam and the second time you took it?
The biggest difference was I was more relaxed.
Mm.
I was more relaxed, a little bit more comfortable, because the first time I was like, I don't know, I just was just nervous. I don't know why I was just nervous. I couldn't think. But the second time when I did it, I knew the expect, and I was like more relaxed. Now I knew my stuff because I was when we was in our study group. We had a study group with some of the students, and I was teaching them and showing them stuff, and they passed, and I didn't pass. So that was funny to me that they passed and I didn't pass, and I showed them. They're like, "Where are you?" They like when I say I failed, they're like, "You failed? You failed? You sure?" And they didn't believe me. They thought I was joking.
And he's telling you the truth, y'all. He was the one who started, and we were just talking about that today. Will he was the one who started his study group for his class, and they started that really, really, really early. I mean, I think they started that around week 2, week 3. Like it was the earliest that we've seen a study group put together, and we leave that on you all to put together because we already have our own study group, right? Saturdays, but you want more time to ask questions, more time to fail, more time to be confused, so you can come to class with more questions, right? So it was, and when he told me he failed, we were on the call like the same day, right? We were talking the same day, and he told me his viewpoint, his perspective, and I told you the same thing that I'm going to say now. He freaked himself out. And I could tell just based off of the score that you told me, and the based off of what you were talking about. And the same thing I told you, you're gonna pass it the second time. You just gotta relax. What did we say? I said, hey, for me, before I take an exam, since I'm Christian, what I like to do is pray. Right. That's what we talked about. And there were other students in there. I said, before I take any exam, I'm not the best exam taker. What I like to do is sit down and pray. I talk to God. After that prayer is done, I feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel like I can take anything on, and I'm good. And I told him, hey, if you're Christian, pray. If you like to meditate, meditate. Whatever you do, as long as you're sober, but while you're taking your exam, do that so you can relax. Because Will's he's a smart guy. Like he's a really, really smart guy.
Yeah, thank you.
Somebody has a question for you in the chat. Do you get your results once you're done with the test?
Yeah, you get it as soon as you finish the test. They give you results right there on the spot. They let you know if you pass or fail. But I just want to let y'all know this. I want to let y'all know this in case y'all don't know when you take your test. I don't know if it was all right to tell them this, Tori, but after you take your test, they ask you 19 questions before they let you know your results, which was makes you more in suspense. Like that, did I pass yet? They ask you 19 questions. You cannot skip it. You gotta do a survey when you finish before you find out your result. That was the only part I didn't like. But
Did you skip through the survey or did you answer everything out?
they didn't give you a button to skip. They didn't let you skip it.
Oh man.
Maybe before they used to, but now they don't let you skip it at all.
Man.
So, but like one thing Toby was just saying, like if y'all could get a study group where like I don't know if y'all in different time zones or whatever, but a study group will really, really help y'all because even though I was in a study group with my students, with my classmates, it helped because I was learning from them as I was teaching them and they was teaching me. We was learning from each other. And that study group, like Toby said, it really, really helps. And like I said, when even though I passed, we still got like two more students that ready to take their test, and I'm still going to help them
That's
because I
dope,
told them I would
man.
still help them. So I'm still going to help them, even though I passed mine already. I still want to help them. I told them I will still help them if they still need help. So that's what we've been doing for the last, like I said, we've been studying at least about 4 days a week for about like an hour or more because we like studying, we like learning from each other. And I was surprised they like learning from me. They like, oh, well, what this mean? They would ask me questions, and I felt like I knew something, but I feel like good that I was able to teach somebody something I was still learning and understood it. And like I said, I learned a lot of stuff from listening to Toby and then looking up stuff on my own and researching and everything. But if it's a field you really like, you're gonna start researching on yourself and looking stuff up or asking questions if you don't know. And like I said before, Toby will answer the questions for you on the weekend if you text him or whatever, Discord, whatever, he'll answer it. It might take him a couple hours or maybe short. It depends what he's doing, but he will answer you. Like he said, he always likes y'all to ask questions. So if you don't know, don't be afraid to ask no questions. He say, Toby, what time is it? He's like, oh, it's 9:23. Toby, what time is it again? 9:24. He'll tell you. Just don't be scared to ask a question because he'll tell you. So that's the only way you're gonna learn. That's how I was learning anyway. But
And one thing that he mentioned, y'all, that I really want to make sure that it hits home, right? I can say it 100 times, it may not hit home, right? And that's why I really love when other students come on here and tell you their experience. He said that they were in their study group an hour, 4 days out of the week, right? An extra 4 hours throughout the week, and they're still doing it, right? Because there are about two more students who haven't taken it yet. They're still doing it. They're still studying. They're still working together. I see them, right? When we're in class, I can't join their study session, but I see them right in the study hall group. You all can join them. Join them. They would love it. It doesn't matter if they're getting ready for the exam. You will learn a lot by just joining them. Maybe you joining them will help you all start your study group, right? But that's the type of effort that you need to get into a new field. Just because you have a certification does not guarantee you a badge into that field. We have plenty of students, Bolu can tell you, his friend has done it. We have plenty of students who have gotten into the field without a certification. And that's because they put in the time to learn the skills. The same energy you all are putting into getting ready for the exam is the same, if not more, type of energy you need to get into the field. Because at the end of the day, look, the Security Plus certification is cool, right? That's cool, right? Congratulations, you got the certification. I'll be honest with you, I don't care about the certification. That's what you care about. I don't care about. I care about the skills that you're learning. There are plenty of companies that will hire you without the certification. And that's because of the skills. I care about you getting a job. I care about you putting food on your table. I care about you elevating in your career. The cert is cool. You can call it the icing on top. I don't even want to call it that. It's the skills. The cert gives you leverage. I'd be lying if I told you it doesn't give you leverage over others. I'd be lying if I told you it won't help you. Yeah, it's going to help you, but it's all about the skills. And these study groups are going to help you hone in on skills, especially when you're doing your labs and you're asking each other questions. Will Security Plus certified? Now he's about to shift gear into our production environment with those use case scenarios, focusing on those skills. All the brain dumping and trying to learn and memorize all this stuff for the Security Plus exam, he's done with it. But he's not done with the work. He's not done with the hard work. He's not done with the hour every day. He's not done with studying. Right now, he's studying his resume. Now he needs to study his elevator pitch. Now he needs to study his story points. We have that already created for him. You just have to go and study it. You have to go and get better at it, get better at these skills, figure out which career path you want to take. We have them on Discord for you. If you want to do the system administrator path, that's there for you. If you want to do the InfoSec path, that's there for you. The vulnerability path, that's there for you. The risk management path, that's there for you. The SOC path, that's there for you. But you have to go and do the work. That's how we get into the field. That's how O-line students are breaking into the field, because of the work that they're putting in. Hey, Will, that's so dope, man. I'm really happy that you're still helping out your classmates, bro. That's really amazing, man. Thank you for that. God's definitely going to return that favor to you. Does anybody else have questions for Will?
I have a question.
Go for it.
Okay.
What are you planning on doing next?
Great question.
Well, like I said, it told me like I want to work on the elevator pitch and the resume. But what I'm trying to do after that, I really want to take on that the other class we have for the Splunk. So I definitely want to take up the Splunk.
Now we have a few different Splunk courses. We have the Splunk engineer course, we have the Splunk fundamentals course, and then the Splunk incident response one. What the best one to me, this is me being unbiased, it's the Splunk engineer one, because you take the Splunk engineer one, right after that you can start entertaining Splunk engineer jobs, right? Because you're learning the duties of a Splunk engineer, how to onboard data, manage the data, a whole bunch of stuff. But it may be best for you to start off with Splunk fundamentals, so you can understand everything about Splunk, how to use it. But it really depends on you, though.
Right.
It really depends on you. But I would definitely look into one of those Splunk courses, right? Because, like, as I said, there's not a lot of people who understand security, are Security Plus certified, and know how to use Splunk.
Right. Well, that's my next journey. Hopefully they do that in the next. Hopefully, if not this year, probably beginning of next year. If not now.
But immediately, what you should be working on next immediately is right here, right? You should, you're still in the study home. What you should be doing immediately is coming over to these career development channels.
Yep, that's what I'm doing next. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm doing next.
Perfect.
I'm working on those now. I can focus more time on that instead of studying now.
Perfect. And you take your time going through these. Start with 00, read everything in there. 01, that's going to be the resume work. 02, that's interview work. 03, story points. 04, that's where all the jobs are. 05, that's where all the other classes are. The Splunk engineer class, the junior vulnerability engineer class. All that stuff is here. But this is where this is where you're going to live. Okay. This is it. And then if you want to focus on some labs pertaining to different career paths, IT support, SOC, Vaughn, class, y'all don't have access to this yet. You're not there yet, right? We have to finish the fundamentals first.
Yeah,
but this is definitely so. I don't think you gave me a resume yet. I'll double check, but let's. I'm not rushing your process. Just start here, and then once you get here, get that resume over to me.
Yeah, I gave you a rough draft. You gave me a little rough draft to do some stuff to work on. So I'm gonna work on that.
All right, bet. I think Brian had a question.
Go ahead.
What's up, man? My name is Brian. My question is, prior to you, I guess, getting into the IT industry, what was your prior occupation and what made you want to get into IT?
Okay. Well, maybe want to get into IT was I always did like it. Computers and all that stuff like that. I was interested in all that. I was always, setting up my computers certain ways, and you know, I just enjoyed it. I just liked doing anything with the computer, cyber, and all that stuff like that. My profession before this, I was had a couple. I was a truck driver, CDL Class A truck driver,
Oh,
and
for real?
also,
I'm a class
yeah,
A good driver too. I used to drive over the road a lot.
yeah. I never drove over the road though, but I was always, city like driving the limits in the city local.
Yeah.
I never drove the city. I was an over the road driver, no regional, and all that stuff like that.
Hmm.
But, so yeah, I always worked in the city, and and I also do home care, healthcare too. So I just wanted to switch over because I just want to do a job I probably could do at home or at the site, you know, so I could do work from home. I know every job ain't gonna be work from home, but if I gotta go to the site and work, I'll do that too. But I want to have that option to work from home or from the site if I have to, or from anywhere, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
It's pretty dope, man. James has a question. Wait, Brian, did you have another question?
No. Mm.
James has a question in the chat. He said, and I'm reading it out for him. He's having mic issues. How different do you feel was the material on the test versus what you learned and was studying?
Different do I feel? I feel it was pretty much the same. It's just the way they word the questions. It's the same thing Toby teaching, but they word it a different way. So it kind of confuses you if you're not thoroughly reading the question correctly. So it's like you everything he teach they said in a test, the exam rather, it's the same thing he's teaching, but sometimes they just word it a different way to throw you off. But then there's gonna be some stuff you don't know, because they're gonna throw something in you just don't know. You know what I mean? Right now, but maybe later on when you get in the career, you probably gonna know what it is. But it's pretty much the same. It's just the way they word it. You just gotta understand what they asking you. Just read it and understand what they ask you, what they trying to say. But like Toby always says, it's like you gotta when you answer the questions, you just gotta give them what CompTIA want, what answer do CompTIA want, not the answer you think it might be. You know.
They haven't even gotten there yet. And I'm happy you said that because
Oh,
in class today
ain't
we
get
were
there yet.
talking about how, no, not yet, but
Uh,
in class today we were talking about how when I say things, I'm going to use synonyms a lot of times. I'm not going to say the same thing the same way over and over, especially if I'm re-explaining it if somebody asks a question. Why? Because the exam doesn't do that. Right?
right.
The exam doesn't do that. Everything that we do in class is based off of the exam and the real world, right? It's both. So that was a really good question, James. You too, Brian.
Yep.
Any other questions, y'all? All right. This was dope. And another thing that he mentioned was that there are going to be some questions that you don't answer. I mean, that you don't know. And that's the truth, right? If anybody tells you that that you're going to ace the Security Plus exam, that's a lie. Right? That's a lie. Okay. We're not preparing you to ace the exam. No, we're preparing you to pass it. We're preparing you to ace the real world. We're preparing you to pass the exam. Right? All the fundamentals that you're learning in class, it's to pass the exam. Get you a go. In the Army, we call it a go or no go. We're trying to get you the go, get you the pass. And we're trying to get you to ace the interview, ace the real world, ace a promotion, ace a higher salary when you renegotiate, because a lot of people don't realize you can depending on your interview, you can counter offer. You can counter offer regardless, but if you do a really, really good interview, yeah, you can request a lot more.
Yep.
So it's pretty dope, man. Pretty dope. Will, I'm happy for you. that boot camp that you took before. Oh yeah, he had took what was it at University of Pennsylvania? Was it
Yep.
or
I
Penn
took it
State?
there.
One of them. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
was there
that
for 6 months.
6 month boot camp. Now that 6 month boot camp compared to this 10 week boot camp, which one would you? I mean, we already know which one you would recommend, but what was the biggest differences?
The biggest difference was that at online security with Toby, he teach you how to he teach you to be prepared to pass the exam. The other school I went to, Penn, they didn't really teach you. They introduce you to everything. They introduce you to the cyber field. Like they might say, okay, this is Splunk or this is whatever. They just introduce you to to what cybersecurity is, and then really you didn't have enough time to grasp it and learn it. So they didn't teach you prepare for the test. They just teach you how to do certain things in certain fields, like pen testing. They would tell you how to do pen testing, but they didn't show you. They just said, "This is read these instructions and then try to do pen testing." So you, in a group of other students, try to teach yourself, each other that don't know nothing, how to do something this is your first time doing. So they just wanted to read instructions and try to figure it out on our own. Then when we asked them, but at least the people I had, the teacher I had, they couldn't really answer the question. It was like Google it, Google it, Google it. And I'm like, I feel like I wasted my time because that school cost me almost $14,000, and this school
Sheesh.
only cost me $3,000,
I feel like that number
and
gets
I
high
not passed the
as
test.
I hear it.
Yeah, it's high, and I'm still paying on that now.
Dang.
But
Well,
just like I said, so when I got finished doing that, I went straight, paid another $3,000 to go to this school or whatever. But to me, it was worth it, way worth it. I would recommend anybody not to go there and go ahead for the 10 weeks. You learn more, way more.
definitely happy that you because everybody has different goals. His goal was to get certified. That was his main goal. He told everybody in class that was his main goal was to get certified. I'm happy we helped you accomplish that goal. Will, I really am.
Get certified, get a pay, and get a career, and get a job in this field.
Right, and that's next up. So I'm gonna be standing by for your updated resume. Once we get that, don't wait for me. Start jumping into the labs. You can multitask now. Let's do them both at the same time and knock it out.
I'm already on that, man. I'm already started at it. I'm a step ahead of you. I'm already doing that on the labs. Like I said,
Trust
I'm
me,
working
I
on my
believe.
resume this weekend. Definitely.
I definitely believe you, man. Everybody, Will, first and foremost, thank you for taking the time out to talk to us today and sharing some of your knowledge with everyone else. Everybody, feel free to hit Will up on Discord. That's what the community is for, to reach out to people. When he gets a job, he can get a referral and refer you over, right? It's each one teach one. So that's what most of our students are doing. So definitely reach out to him. Just ping him, say, hey, Will, you stopped by my class for Cyber Thursday. My name is Brian. My name is Naja. My name is Clint. Just want to, stay in touch. Maybe I can join your study sessions. Now, for Brian, right? This is the website that you're going to go to, right? Oracle. This is where you're going to download your VirtualBox.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you're going to download it here. This is to set up a virtual machine. Well, if you ever wanted to set up your own virtual machine, you're going to go to virtualbox.org. So click this link. It's going to download the VirtualBox program. After you download that, you want to come to Cali.org and you want to download this program as well. Okay, what that's going to do, hold on. Once you download this, you'll see this file here, right? Now, Brian, you don't have to use the command line tool 7-zip to unzip this. You don't have to use any other special tool to unzip this. You can simply right-click it. On a Mac, you're going to see something, I think it says unarchive, right? On Mac, you'll see unarchive. Over here, since I have 7-zip installed, I mean, you can use 7-zip too if you install it. I could just right-click this and just hit extract files here.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then just hit OK, and it's going to start opening up the folder right here. And once that's done, right, that's going to take a few. Once that's done, you're going to go to VirtualBox. Obviously, you need to install VirtualBox first because all we did was download it. You need to install it. Once that's done, you're going to come over here, select new. And then you're just going to tell VirtualBox where that file is, right? I'm going to tell VirtualBox where that file is. I just have to go in here. I pause my screen so you don't see everything. But it's a pretty straightforward process. That video that you're using is it's using the virtual, it's using 7-zip. So you would just go in here. All right, this is where I have it installed. I would just go in here and click the icon, and then VirtualBox will load it up here, and then I'll just give it a name and then select this checkbox and then just keep hitting next. Right. So what I did was just took you through a real quick crash course on how to do it without 7-zip, right? You can still use the video, but I'm just showing you how to, because I think this is where you got stuck at. I'm just showing you how to extract it without doing it on the terminal, right? Because you can do that without doing it on the terminal. So all you got to do that is just right click it and hit extract, and you'll be good to go.
All right, cool. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. I'm not going to keep you on later. You all have a good night. Please study. We should have the study hall session this Saturday. If we don't, I'll let you know. Will, I would definitely love it if you could volunteer as a cyber advisor to help mentor some of these students. You can also put that on your resume. We can talk about that offline. Will, please don't forget to send me a picture of yourself that we can use to highlight your accomplishment. Right, just like we do with the other students.
Okay.
You can just send it to me on Discord. And I know your class would definitely love your testimonial when you put it in the testimony channel. Other than that, y'all, congrats again, Will. Congrats ahead of time to the rest of you all who are going to get certified and are also going to embark on new journeys in the field. Please stay safe, everybody. Hold on to your loved ones. Give them fat kisses. Make sure they know that you love them. That's the most important thing about this life, y'all. Making sure your loved ones know that they love you and you love them. And I will see everybody else next time. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us on Thursday. Peace out.
So,
All right, later.
Later, y'all.